they killed Anton last night. And I felt an anger that I don't think I've ever felt before, because of course I knew who had done it. I've never seen anything else as strong as the fact that the CCB killed him. And it was like just a bunch of wild men who got political license from the likes of Adrian Vlok and Magnus Malan. Do whatever you want to disrupt the enemy, in Magnus Malan's language. It makes no sense. Only here was Anton Lubowski. He was a charismatic figure. He was popular. Cameras loved him. The media loved him. He was almost the ideal politician. There was something Kennedy-esque about Anton Lubowski. And they saw this and said, "Maar hierdie man is dan 'n boer." And in their unsophistication, they decided, we need to get rid of him, like we got rid of Webster. They were wild, evil men with a license to kill and a lust for blood. There are multiple reasons to believe that the police in Namibia knew that an assassination was going to happen, and that it was going to involve definitely Anton, but also perhaps the journalist Gwen Lister. And they didn't stop it, and they didn't report it. We sit with this totally unsatisfactory situation where we knew the police didn't investigate properly. We knew the prosecuting authority didn't do a proper job. And it was all became a mess. And the Judge Levy, sat there and he made as good as he could a kind of a finding. But it was messed up. And then suddenly it became so clear that this is not the whole story. Then stories that get another life. The stories of the CIA, Bill Ullman. The stories of Alain Ganon. Bill Ullman worked for Maurice Tempelsman, who was close to the CIA. He was an international diamond dealer. And Bill Ullman was a friend of Anton's. That is true. Alain Ganon is a shady French businessman. He was in contact with Anton. I don't know why and what they did. And crazies from all over the world, I'm sure, approached him, like Alain Ganon and Bill Ullman. And, they needed an inside guy because Namibia had great fishing, diamond, and oil or gas resources. So this is the messy part which frustrates me, that because the investigation was never thorough, because the prosecution never prepared a proper case, all these conspiracy theories and other stories still persist. In my book, it could be as simple as the CCB saw him as a symbol, a white symbol of something they hated, and they targeted him because they could, because they were stupid and wanted to kill someone. And that's not the first time they did that. It could be that simple. It could be far more complicated. I didn't trust Judge Harms. I think partly he defended the system, and partly he was naive in just believing everything they said. The evidence that he accepted as proof that Anton was a spy was so flimsy that the minute we had our hands on it, we could counter it convincingly. And yet he believed it. And it's another instance of where the legal system just failed Anton completely, in Namibia and here. Aitchison is now dead. So we will probably never know unless people like Stahlberger, Joe Verster, Carla Botha, Slang van Zyl, Johannes Niemoller, Fanny Barnett, unless one of them comes up and confesses or tells us the whole story. Because if they didn't do it, they know who did it. Because they were monitoring Anton right at that point. Maybe Fanny Barnett should stand up and, in the interest of truth and history, tell us what he knows, because he must know the truth.